As you can see by the title of this video, I feel like a fraud. I don't feel like I belong here. I really and truly don't. And it's frustrating. And when I say I don't feel like I belong here, I don't feel like I belong in the mommy commentary community as a content creator. I really love the idea of creating something just from an idea. I really do. And talking about these mommies have given me an outlet to do this. Now, I do have another channel, and it's called Simply Bank, and I will post a link to it. I started that channel almost 2 years ago, and it was basically by accident. There was a gap in information in a particular sub niche here in the true crime community, and it was surrounding or dealing with the scandal of Shirley Strawberry and her husband Ernesto Williams. And I exploited that gap. And the gap was there was transcripts of jail calls coming out from Ernest Williams. And just to kind of give you some information so you're not lost, he is currently locked up in the Fulton County Jail. Sorry, he's in Cobb County. He's been charged in Fulton County. And he has been making these jail calls to friends and family and a girlfriend, a side chick, while he was married to Shirley Strawberry. Well, a lot of content creators in the true crime celebrity commentary community was really digging in to this interesting case. Along the way, there was a channel that popped up called Phone Calls from Prison. When Phone Calls from Prison started to release the jail calls, and we went all in, and I was interested because at the end of the day, I am a fan of excellent content. So when there is a content creator out there, whether they're in the true crime niche, the mommy niche, or any niche that I'm interested in, I gravitate to them. So listening to the phone calls and chatting with people in the premieres of these jail calls really, it set a fire up under me. I was truly and highly invested and interested in the subject matter. And then I started listening to all the commentators who was taking that material and breaking it down. We had a great time. Well, during this, Phone Calls from Prison was able to get a hold of the text messages. So if you're not familiar, a lot of people in jail now have access to text messaging, or I think it comes in almost like email forms, but they're text. So what I was able to do was to take that text using software and make it into audio. So I would use audio voices using AI to have the transcripts read out loud. And my channel took off. People loved it. They didn't have to read the transcripts. They could just sit back and listen. So that channel grew very rapidly. I was monetized and made a little bit of a coin doing that. But as the transcripts tapered off, I really didn't have a lot to work with because, to be honest, I was a fan of the content and the content creators and the subject matter. I just thought of this idea, found the software, and said, hey, let's see what happens. And I stumbled into a YouTube channel that's monetized. Now, like I said, the problem is the transcripts, they didn't really technically go away, but the people talking, Nesto Williams and his side chick, Mistress Sonia, they caught on to the fact that we were listening to the jail calls and we were transcribing the transcripts. In other words, we were listening and reading the text messages. So they basically stopped talking. There was not a lot to work with. And where do I go as a content creator? Well, you could say, well, you could switch up your content. That is absolutely true. But that's the part I struggle with, because I am interested in the niche. I like doing the transcripts, but over time, there was not a lot to work with. And I will be honest with you. I didn't really want to cover the phone calls. There were enough people doing it. I know everybody has a different perspective, but I am a chatter at heart when it comes to things like this. I like being in the chat and contributing. And I'm finding the same thing happening now with this channel. I do enjoy the commentary and the drama and the messiness of the mommy sector. I have been, I guess you could say, invested in it for quite a bit of time. Just right before the pandemic, I started to get into the goings on of Strong Mommy Chrissy, My Jazzy Life, and at that time it was Liv's life. I missed living with the Webbs, and now she's Love Liv. And I know a lot about these ladies. I know their stories. I know the fact sheet, basically. So I have been mulling over doing content on them for a while. If you look at my uploads, you can see there's a gap in them because I am consistently trying. I'm like, okay, well, you can do this. You know enough. And when I'm in other people's chats, I have a lot to say. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of inundating their chat with all of my chatter, why don't you just fire up the camera, or rather, turn the mic on and start talking about it yourself? And I can do that. I mean, I've done it, but I struggle. And one of the reasons why I struggle, one of the biggest reasons to be quite honest, is that I have ADD. I have ADD or ADHD or whatever you want to call it these days. And if I'm not like totally interested, my mind drifts. And to be quite honest, I've said this in the last reaction I did on Liv. Liv is boring. Yes, she says inflammatory things. Yes, she has moments of, can you believe this? But to just watch her straight on, nonstop for, her long marathon lives that can be, they can be anywhere for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we've seen her go, very long, 5 hours. It's daunting. And again, hats off to the ladies who do it. Now, I realize for me, in order to do this, probably successfully, I need to go live. But I've switched platforms. And I've gotten off of StreamYard because I didn't want to spend, $50 a month on me being wishy-washy, basically. And I started using OBS. And by the way, I did mention I would do an OBS tutorial on how to get this going, how to use this platform because it's totally free. But the problem is that to do an actual setup is kind of daunting because I am really still new to the content. So what I can do, and I will do it on my community, in a community post, I will point you in the directions to the sources that I use to get me started. And it's really not that hard. It's really very basic. If you just want to do the setup that I am showing right now, it's really kind of basic. So I will put I'll highlight some content creators who really dig into OBS, and they will show you how to get this started. But again, OBS being new to me, I don't feel that confident in leading you down that road just yet. Anyway, the point is that I've been recording with OBS, but I've yet to go live. And for me, I'm feeling like, okay, well, because I get bored with doing these reaction commentaries, I took another approach because, again, I like to look at what I call gaps. And I also like to use technology to make things a lot more clear and a lot easier for myself, to be quite honest. So that's why I was doing the deep dives, and I was using a Gemini software. Gemini is part of the Google family of AI tools, and I was using it's called Notebook LM, which allows me to basically create a dossier. That's what I call it, a breakdown or a history of individuals like Strong Mommy Chrissy and Love Liv, and frame it so they can do so the notebook will create a podcast breaking down the psychology of these ladies. And I find it fascinating. I really do. And I am getting a positive response. It's probably not the biggest response because I think a lot of the audience is used to one way of doing things. But that is not a problem for you guys who are watching. I don't see that as a problem or a negative. I just see it's nature of the beast, especially when you're doing something new. And it's on me to create an audience that's receptive to that. But I say this because yesterday evening, my Jazzy Life dropped a video. And I proceeded to try to react to said video. And it was unbearable for me. Unbearable. And I realized there was not a lot to work with. And it was kind of mind blowing to me how people can actually do a reaction video on this type of content that she was putting out. And I struggled. I almost got through it. And I stopped. I was like, you know what? I wasted almost an hour trying to react to this. Maybe I would have been better served going live doing this reaction. So that is something that kind of stuck with me as I was deleting the videos. Like, I wasted time and energy. But in the end, did I really waste time and energy? Because what it showed me is that there is and this is a skill that one has to develop. And hats off to the OGs that have been out here doing it for years. Who comes to mind off the top of my head is Fran over at Love Lies and Lace Fronts, Tasha TMR. If I'm forgetting anybody, but those two have been doing it. Oh, and Blama, the Erics. There have been content creators in the mommy sector that have been doing this for years. And each year or almost every month, someone new comes, and some of them stick around and they have longevity. I am right now getting acquainted with some newer content creators. Hats off to Mellish, hats off to Lux, and I think they're doing a great job with this content. But I also see why some of my favorites have left the game, or they don't upload that often, because it is very taxing, especially if you got other stuff going on and YouTube is a side hustle. But for me, I know that I guess if I am more consistent and keep doing it, I can possibly make something out of it. But going back to what I said in the beginning, I feel like I'm a fraud. I feel like I'm an imposter. And it's not even because I don't think that over time that I can get better at it. The question is, do I want to get better at it? Is this really what I want to do here on YouTube? And the answer is, honestly, no. No, I don't want to do these reaction videos. But I have the other channel that I'm basically letting die. I haven't figured out really what I want to do with that channel. And then I have this channel, which I am trying to build momentum, but I am trying to build momentum on something that it's almost like pulling teeth for me to do. I enjoy doing the deep dives, don't get me wrong, but you can only do so much. So I feel like that I need to change my focus, and I don't know if anybody who's already subscribed to me is willing to go there with me, because I am into finding solutions. That's the type of person I am. So when I listen to somebody, especially like Jasmine, who has 10,000 problems and a job ain't one of them because she's not interested in it, I'm looking for solutions for her. I'm looking to provide her with, well, Jasmine, YouTube is obviously not something you want to do anymore, because even though I didn't put up the reaction, one thing she said in that video was that since her car is down and she can't go out and make money using her car, and I'm assuming she's talking about DoorDash, she may as well come live. YouTube has now become an afterthought for her. She doesn't enjoy YouTube. She would rather go out and do DoorDash and play basketball. And it's like, okay, well, Jasmine, maybe it's time to pivot your content. See, Jasmine has an advantage over me and a lot of other people, is that she has an audience. And that is the most important thing when you're here on YouTube, is building an audience. And that has been my fear with this channel. I didn't want to do what I did with my other channel, build an audience based off of a sub niche that there was very little growth, okay, or that I would have to eventually pivot and risk losing, doing a lot of work, and the algorithm never really serving me up to the new audience that I'm trying to court. It would have to be closely tied to the content that I'm creating. I would have to stay in a true crime niche. And I thought about ways to pivot that channel, and they've been tabled, and I still may go ahead and do that. But I'm early in this channel, so I think the pivot should happen a lot sooner. But I haven't established an audience like Jasmine has. Jasmine has an established audience. Even though she has her detractors, or her haters as they like to call them, she has a lot of supporters that are willing to ride with her. But she's stuck. She's stuck in her head. She has created a habit that's over 10 years old, and I get it. You know, once we are used to doing something day in and day out, it's hard to pivot. And then on top of that, we know that Jasmine has some issues. We know she has some cognitive delays, but she's also very stubborn, and she can't see the forest for the trees. She gets fixated. And her love for YouTube, I believe personally, it started to wane, not just with Chris leaving, but I think the dagger was when her channel got taken down. When YouTube took her channel down for, I think it was like a week or a couple of days. I can't remember, but it kind of threw her off balance. And I don't think she ever recovered. Then on top of that, you know, the whole issue with Liv and her going to jail. I just think the momentum that she had built up over time was easily crushed. And also, her kids were getting older, and they weren't with her full time. So a lot of the content, she really didn't have really any content. She didn't take advantage of her breakup with Chris because she's still holding out hope, I guess, that something will come of that. But my point is that she needs to pivot. And when I say she has an advantage, she has an audience that will pivot with her. She really does. And now her car is down. She can't really take advantage of it. But Jasmine refused to look at the content that she could, do. If she didn't want to focus in on being a single mom anymore because the kids were older, they were no longer cute enough, I guess, to put in front of the camera. She didn't have a relationship anymore, and she basically is stuck at home with a toddler who now is in school, and she has all this free time. She could have built her channel around, hey, you know what, ladies? Look at my old videos. I was mom 24/7. It was frustrating. It was a grind. It was a struggle. But now I can finally breathe. I'm out here. I have free time to make money off, outside of YouTube, along with my YouTube. I'm just home primarily with a toddler, and this is the new mom. She could have focused in on that. But I think, like I said, the problem is her desire for YouTube has changed. I think she believes that YouTube has betrayed her. And so for her to come on live and say, well, I may as well come live, and then proceed for over an hour? Was it an hour? I don't know. I stopped, like I said, maybe like 45 minutes into the reaction because she wasn't giving us nothing. Only thing I know is that her car is no longer functional. She needs a new car. Don't know what's wrong with the car, but she's having a pity party, and she's drinking and vaping and being mealy mouth about it. Again, me being a solutions person, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, why are we doing this? I mean, I know you're clocking time, and if you get the views, you may make a couple of dollars. It's not like she gets super chats. None of these mommies really get super chats, which I find interesting. But that's the way they built their audience. They built their audience with people who are in their similar situations, that they don't really, number one, they say they support them, but do they really? Because I see some reactors and people in the commentary community, they get loads of super chats. And I don't know if it's an income issue or, again, it's the way her audience has been trained. But they do show up for the views. And they do like to buy off of registries, and they do like to recommend things like GoFundMe. I don't know if the people who are offering the recommendations are willing to put up or shut up. But the point is, let me kind of bring this together because I'm rambling. Remember, I have ADD, you guys. The point is, Jasmine has other avenues that are not open to me right now because I don't have an audience. I have people who are subscribing, but they're subscribing to me. I think I'm looking at the numbers, and they're based off of my reactions to the mommy sector. But I watch more than just the mommy sector. So Jasmine just kind of reset me into that. Is this really what you want to do? Because you have someone with how many subscribers does Jasmine have? Like 64,000 subscribers, and she's not really growing. But this girl, she's into now the hustle economy. There are people out there who are doing DoorDash and they're making money, and they're smaller than her. And how they're making money is they are using affiliate programs. They're asking their audience to check out different apps that if they're downloaded, they get paid for them, or if people sign up for them, they get paid for them. Heck, I believe that DoorDash even has an affiliate program for new delivery drivers. So that is something that she could have focused in on, her DoorDash, and then talking about how much money she's making and all that other jazz. Her fan base would watch that, and they probably would support her and, ask her questions, because that's something they may be able to do on the side. But now her car is gone. She can't do that. Early on, when Jasmine was into her fitness and losing weight, now I wasn't an advocate for her to do like fitness videos and weight loss videos, because number one, to me, she wasn't a traditional person. She wasn't doing it traditionally. She was taking the phentermine pills. She was doing those B12 shots, and I guess she was on some form of a GLP. I'm not 100% certain. Her workouts were almost like workouts for basketball players, for athletes, instead of the stay-at-home mom or the working mom. So I don't think that would have been a good fit for her. But I always said she could have, because she has started other channels. Her My Jazzed Up Life, she could have either transitioned that channel, or, because she doesn't do anything on that channel, to be quite honest. She does have subscribers. It is monetized. I would suggest that she does something. But again, YouTube, in the lane that she in, is not her passion, because it's just not. I think it's, like I said, it's over time. I think that she needs more positive reinforcement than what she's getting now. This sector has become very jaded in the sense of the reactor and commentary community. I just think that she's just had enough. She won't out and out say it, but I think she's had enough. But she doesn't know where to pivot. Well, I was saying back when she first started losing all this weight and started back playing basketball, I was an avid, at one point, I would say in the last few years, it's kind of tapered off for me, but I was a huge tennis fan. I was a huge football fan. Basketball's been years, but my point is, I noticed that there are podcast channels out there. There are people who are doing podcasts around sports that they enjoy. Jasmine loves basketball. The WNBA, the NBA, there's content out there. I believe when the NBA is off season, the WNBA is in season. So there's content constantly for her to work with. She knows the game. She knows how to trash talk. And if she just sit down and watch some of the people who are doing these podcasts, maybe that's a lane that could have opened to her. And I believe that her personality, that competitiveness, and the knowledge that she has surrounding the game, it probably would have revitalized her interest. Because let's be honest, Jasmine is not interested in a 9-to-5. She's gotten used to getting AdSense checks. And right now, the way her life is structured, she doesn't want to do mommy content. So I say all this, if you made it this far, I say all this to say that watching Jasmine or trying to do a reaction to her made me question why I'm here. I don't ever just want to come on here and phone it in to you guys. I don't want to waste your time. More importantly, I don't want to waste my time. I could be doing other things that I enjoy. and I still can be delivering you something of quality. So for me, things like technology really gets me going. Making money with technology absolutely gets me going. Finding solutions to everyday problems get me going. And with the mommy sector, Jasmine is probably about the only one I can see that can pivot out of the sector. Liv is a lost cause, in my opinion. Unless she's willing to go get psychiatric help, she's a lost cause. Strong mommy Chrissy, she'll figure it out. She's a hustler. She is a true hustler. And I don't know what she's doing right now to get by, but she's getting by, and she really doesn't need my advice other than she needs to upload more, because my best performing video is a reaction to her, so people are still interested in what she's got to say and what she's doing. It's just that Chrissy is trying to live her fantasy life right now. And if you haven't listened to the deep dive I did on Chrissy, please go and listen to it. It explains a lot. I think it's spot on. But Chrissy has so much to hide. For some reason, she still thinks she's pulling the wool over the people's eyes. That is one thing I will say about Liv. Liv doesn't care anymore. And she'll come on here and she'll play the game. And she knows she's full of shit. And we all know she's full of shit. But she's going to ride this until the wheels fall off, and it comes naturally to her. It comes naturally to Chrissy. But again, Chrissy's too busy trying to bury secrets. And she can still do this mommy content and make waves. I just saw a thumbnail, and I haven't clicked on it because I've never really been a big fan of her content. Just Jazzy is making the money on YouTube. And one thing I noticed, I just kind of, before I got on here, I just looked through her channel, and I think she goes back like, what, 8 years, 8 years, something like that. 6, she's in the years. She's always stuck to mommy content. Now here and there she'll do maybe a sponsorship, or she will kind of do a little clickbaity thing, but she has been consistently doing single mommy content. Now she may bring her girlfriend in, or she may talk about some controversial things that are happening with her daughters, but she stays focused in on her niche. Okay. And honestly, I think she plans out her videos. That is something that Jasmine struggles with. She definitely struggles with. Again, Liv and Chrissy, they naturally make up stories. You know, they remind me of little girls who, you know, played with their dollhouse and had Prince Charming in mind and just kind of made up stories. And now they can do it as an adult, and they can put it here on YouTube. Jasmine doesn't have that talent. She just doesn't at all. There's another issue, I believe, with Jasmine I won't get into, and that is basically living in her truth. But that's a topic maybe for another day if I decide to do it. But as I was saying, when I watch these mommies, even like somebody like Sky or Wine Glass, I'm looking at solutions. I'm looking at what they can do, or what they should be doing, or they should be just giving up on YouTube, you know, totally. For me, I recognize that it takes time to build an audience. It takes time, again, to kind of find your voice here, you know, what's unique and what makes you stand out. And for me, if I want to be successful here on YouTube, I have to be my authentic self. So is doing reaction videos or commentary videos on the mommies, is it where it's at? I've explored looking at things like TikTok videos. I love watching like the story times. I love, you know, finding out the tea about all that stuff. But do I really like talking about that? At the end of the day, I mean, is it to bring, unless it's to bring awareness, or unless it's to bring some expertise that I have to the table, I just find myself getting bored eventually. Like I said, I have ADD, squirrel. I'm off to the next thing. But the one thing that I've always been able to focus in on is different ways to make money. I love the idea of finding ways to make money, giving people ideas on how they can put a little bit of extra money in their pocket. Things that may not be my jam, but might be somebody else. I also love technology. I love, you know, right now we're in the age of AI, and a lot of people are fearful of it. A lot of people are saying that it's going to change the way we move and shake in the future. It's taking jobs away. And the reality is, we can't stop it. It's like, it's going to happen, and whether we like it, rather, it's going to happen whether we like it or not. And for me, it's either get along or get gone, because it's coming. And I am old enough to remember when the information age rolled in with the internet, and there was an opportunity at that time for me to really get into digital products and information products, and I let that go by me. Now I have a chance to kind of ride the wave. I'm not interested in AI taking over human functions. I believe there will always be a need for humans, but right now in this time, we're kind of I wouldn't say this is a golden time. You either can get in and learn something of value, or you can, like I said, let this train pass you by. Had I capitalized on the whole information age, the digital age back in the early to mid 2000s, we will be having a whole different conversation, and I will be in a whole different place. And I don't want that to pass me by. So over the last couple of years, I have been learning a little bit here and there. I'm in no way an expert, but I've found things to make my life easier. I'm learning things, and you can see it in real time, even in the commentary reaction community. Look at the thumbnails that the creators are putting out now. Look at some content creators have been using Sora to make these little videos. I mean, look at how if you look at the thumbnails, how they are taking people like Chrissy. I've done it myself, and Liv and Jasmine, and reimagining or being able to make them look like Pixar or caricatures, or making it gritty in reality. The technology is there, and it's not even just for content creating. It's things for our everyday life. I'm learning how to prompt. I'm learning how to streamline how I get information. I mean, the tools are out there, and I'm just talking about for everyday things that we do for ourselves. You can literally build what they call a second brain. So, for example, let me just do it this way because it's less intimidating, I think. Let's say, for example, you have an expertise in a certain field, and you have found yourself in a position where the job is changing. You may have suffered a layoff. So let's say like last year when a lot of federal workers were laid off, some of them have a lot of expertise. You can literally bundle all your expertise. You can write it out, including your resume. If you have any digital documentation, any research, you can even go out and get the research, and you can just upload all that information into something like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever large language model platform you want to use. And that's what ChatGPT is. And you can train it to understand your thinking, your methodology. You can have it create calendars for you. You can have it organize your day. You can do a lot of things. And I know that sounds a little weird, but we only have so much time in a day. And the older I get, I feel like the less organized I am, the more time I lose. So that's just kind of an example. And if you're a content creator here on YouTube, I see, I don't want to call it gatekeeping, but I see a lot of people doing a lot of different things and not really sharing it. And now, is it their responsibility to share it? No, it's not. They want you to get out of the mud because they got out of the mud. And that's fair enough. And that's why jumping around here, again, I hope you guys are okay with me jumping around and you stuck with me this far. But that goes back to my original theme of, me feeling like a fraud, because I am that person who wants to show you what I'm doing. I want to show you how I did it if I can. Like I said, my stumbling block right now is OBS. Actually showing you how to do the whole setup. But how I created this thumbnail, I used a face, not a thumbnail, rather, my avatar. I used a face swapper. I took an image and I swapped my face with the original face of this voluptuous hairdo. I have no problem showing anyone how to do that. If I think of a way that can help you create a side hustle that you can do while maintaining a full-time job, that's my jam. I love doing that. I love looking at someone's expertise and seeing what they can possibly do. I've created a digital product that I've been sitting on. I'm not going to tell you how long I've been sitting on it. It's crazy, but I created a digital product, and right now I'm working on getting it out, and rolling it out in the way that I want to do it. But that's something that I would like to talk about, okay, here on YouTube. And so this channel is going to probably look a lot different moving forward. So I apologize for being long-winded. Again, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. But I have some exciting things coming. One of the things that I really want to get into is showing people how you can make a digital product relatively quickly, and strategies on how you can monetize it. So if you have a YouTube channel and you have a good following, I know a lot of content creators out here that are in the commentary community. You have a solid fan base, you have a solid group of subbies, you've given them names, and if you can create a digital product that is solid and something that your audience can use, they will support you. And I'm not talking about creating courses. That could be it. It could be something as simple as creating one-on-ones, because you don't have to create a course. And we've seen Jasmine, attempt to do this with editing, but that just somebody might just want to pick your brain on how you have been able to consistently create content in this space, and they will pay you to do that. You can set up something with Calendar and a payment platform that you can have a calendar where you're available for an hour or two or half an hour, wherever you schedule. Put a dollar amount on there, and you can actually talk to people about what you know and how you did it. You don't have to have this high level course. Or you can create a quick guide to something that you do in your personal life that you have shared with your audience and they're interested in it. There's so much stuff out there you can do to monetize your channel outside of AdSense. Because although AdSense is good and you can get super chats, which are great, you can create a passive income stream, just with a digital product. I have created 180 days of motivations, and it's called I can't even think of the name of my product. It's Pearls of Power. Had a brain glitch there, but it's called Pearls of Power, and it's well done. I like it. I listen to it. And I'm like, you need to get this out. And you can do something similar. Content creators can do something similar on their channel. If they want to start creating or writing children's books, they can do that. If they want to do t-shirts, they can do that. And they can do that with the help of technology, and they can do it passively. I watch some content creators, which I think is very creative, very brilliant. They do commercials. Some of them do them for humor, and some of them do them because they do these marathon lives and they need a break. So they'll throw on a quote unquote commercial. Why not promote a product? I mean, people always talking about sponsorships, but do you realize that you don't have to have a brand reach out to you and greenlight you for a sponsorship or prepay you for a sponsorship? There are tons of affiliate programs out there that will allow you to sign up and get a link in which you get a percentage for every product sold, or even it could be as simple as a sign up. And you can put your own voice to it, your own stamp to it, and you can make a little bit of extra money on the side. I mean, it could be as simple as like one of these shopping programs or apps. And I always wonder why the mommies didn't do it. They did these grocery hauls. They got apps out there that, you know, if when you go shopping, you upload your receipt and you get points. My sister does it all the time. She does it all the time, and she gets all these gift cards and gifts. These gift cards, and she's not even signing people up, but you get points for signing people up. As a content creator, you can do that because I'm in you guys' chat, and you guys do share a little bit of your personal life. You talk about, you know, you might have found a great deal when you went here or there, and you could do it's like a cash back affiliate program. There's so many different ways you can monetize your channel outside of YouTube, and it can be done passively. So that's the things that I like to do. I'm a mix of let's figure out how to do it more easily, more efficiently, and on top of that, let's make some money. So again, I don't know how this channel is going to shape in the future. I don't know what it's going to exactly look like, but it's going to look different than what you've seen before. Now, I have a couple of things already in the chamber. I have a breakdown of Liv and her family dynamics, or the way she mothers her kids individually. So it's a breakdown of her relationships with each and every one of her children. I think that will probably be the last one of the deep dives, unless you guys want more. And then we'll see. I got another video that I was working on with Liv and her new family members, the Roaches. This is stuff that I've already done, and I don't want it to go to waste. But like I said, moving forward, I will be exploring more topics that are more in line into the things that interest me. And it may seem like it's, way different from what you are watching, but do you want to watch me do a reaction or commentary on these moms or anybody on social media that everybody has already done? Or do you want me to talk to you about things that interest me, that may interest you, may make your life easier, and put a few dollars in your pockets? You let me know. So if you made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. And if you've already subscribed to my channel based off of the prior content, please stick around and give me a chance to see if you like what I do in the future and how I move. So until the next time I upload, everybody please have a great day. Bye now.